What's up everybody, it's your boy Duval here and I'm back with some more GTA 6 videos for you guys. So today we're checking out Get Ready to Play GTA 6 for the next 20 years.
Without a
I think
doubt,
it's more
without a doubt,
15,
we're going to be
but let's
stuck
get
playing
into
Grand
it.
Theft Auto 6 for 10 to 15 years, and maybe even more. Yeah, that's probably not what you want to hear. Aside from the obvious fact that you and I don't
Exactly,
want to play the
15.
exact same Grand Theft Auto game for 20 years, from a business point of view, it doesn't make sense either. Why would Rockstar even want to do this? They could make way more money if they just pumped out games over and over again. GTA 5 is still selling 20 million copies a year. I couldn't even believe it when I read it. And although releasing
You know, that's so insane because it's like that I think the screenshot just said 215 million. Wait, no, I saw it somewhere. Hopefully he includes it. But it's like the highest selling game of all time, next to Minecraft, I believe, yeah. And it's like at the end of the generation where you think it would be slowing down, it's building up even more. So they're still selling. That's insane, bro. I guess it's a GTA 6 trailer. And they're like, you know what? It's Rockstar. We might as well. And
5
the
is still
online
selling
is
20
has a
million
lot
more
of
money if
content,
they
so
just
there's
pumped out
that as
games
well.
over and over again. GTA 5 is still selling 20 million copies a year. I couldn't even believe it when I read it. And although releasing a new game every year is unrealistic, every 5 years is certainly doable, and they'd be raking in billions. Call of Duty constantly releases the same garbage, but still manages to be the best-selling game every year, so why not do the same? And then it hit me. All the other companies pretend they're doing all they can to make a good game while realistically just being lazy because they know they can still sell copies. But on the other hand, Rockstar actually wants to make improvements and only release 10 out of 10 games. Not because they're some ethically sound company who wants us all to have a bunch of fun. I'm not delusional. But while all these other companies have been profiting off of garbage that at one point
Mm.
or another is going to all come crashing down, Rockstar is playing the long game. Their marketing strategy, the one where all they have to do is release a couple trailers, that'll come to an end if they even release one flop of a game. This random YouTube comment probably sums it up best. People are forgetting this is a multi-billion-dollar franchise. They literally invent new tech entirely for these games.
Bro, not to go against his point, but look at his profile picture. It's literally this fish, the lifeguard
That's
fish
why
from
it takes
SpongeBob,
so
and there's a
long.
fly on
Rockstar
the.
actually knows how to spend the
Wow.
money properly. They don't have to spend millions on ads,
Yes.
and yet everyone and their dog knows
Yes, they do.
GTA 6 is coming out next year. Their rep is just that strong. Rockstar's in a unique position where they don't have to release
Indeed.
games all the time. They have
GTA is a
billions to play.
Titan title. Not to cut him again, but can we just talk about how good the GTA enhanced, I mean, definitive edition looks? Something as simple as just the Vice City models having fingers makes it just look so much better, which is
Play with
sad,
and
but
can
you
afford to
know,
take their time.
better
Not
late
many
than
other
never.
companies have this luxury.
Which animal aura do you have? Take test.
For most of us, Grand Theft Auto 6 is an automatic buy, even if it's going to cost us $200, because we trust that the game is going to be
Indeed,
phenomenal, and we don't want to watch all of our friends have fun without us. But the second
it will
Rockstar
be.
mixes themselves in with literally every other gaming company that does little to innovate or improve from one release to the next, they're going to lose that customer trust, and that automatic buy without hesitation that I was just talking about, that could all go away. Maybe it wouldn't happen immediately. They could still sell a bunch of copies of a trashy game. I mean, people hate Ghosts, but it's still one of the best-selling games in the Call of Duty franchise. However, eventually, the laziness would catch up to
Mm.
them, and it ruins Rockstar's reputation not only for Grand Theft Auto, but also for the other big series like Red Dead Redemption. This is a huge part of the reason it took so long for GTA 6, and why it's probably going to take longer for GTA 7.
Oh, definitely. Every subsequent title is going to take longer and longer because the games get more advanced, so there's a higher level to reach. But the more things you improve, the harder it is to
After
improve even
releasing
further.
GTA 5,
So yeah,
Rockstar
more
took a
time
look at
is
the
a given.
technology. You know, the Xbox One and the PS4, and kind of came to the conclusion that, meh, this hardware isn't good enough for us to release a new Grand Theft Auto on.
My brother was saying this like 2 days ago, and it makes sense because the CPUs in the Xbox One and the PS4 were pretty blah. And then on top of that, too, 5 released in 2013 for PS3 and Xbox 360. So even if they did want to release one, well, they were busy with Red Dead Redemption 2, and that was our GTA for PS4 and Xbox One, because obviously it's open world and you can travel on vehicles. Well, on the cart wheels that the horses pull. So I shouldn't really say vehicles, but another open world. That's our PS4 gen open world game, Red Dead 2. Yeah. So it would not have been enough for GTA 6 for sure. And honestly, I really want to see how the PS5 is going to maintain 30 FPS with how dense that GTA 6 trailer looked.
We're
So
not
even PS5
man,
isn't off
this
the hook
hardware
fully.
isn't
But
good enough for
anyway,
us to release a new Grand Theft Auto on. We're not going to be able to make that big of a jump in graphics and other gameplay mechanics. We don't want to ruin our reputation, so let's just wait it out. Hence why development for Grand Theft Auto 6 finally began around the same time that the PS5 released. After they saw the specs, it gave Rockstar some confidence that these consoles were actually worth making a game for. Now, it's not to say this is the only reason. Rockstar, of course, still has their own version of laziness, releasing the exact same game on 3 different console generations, but it has done very well for them. I mean,
yeah,
came
there it
on
is, the 215 million. Hold on, let
generations,
me
but
go forward. Let me catch it. Pause. There we go. 250 million surpassed. GTA 5 generated 800 million in revenue within the first 24 hours. And I know they made the billion within the first 3 days. So, man, that's insane. And this is from May,
has done
which
very
we're
well
still
for
in
them.
May.
I
So
mean, personally, I've
crazy.
bought it on 2 different Xboxes, and then I went and bought it on PC.
I bought it on PS3. Yeah, same. I bought it on 2 PlayStations and on PC. My dad bought me the PS3 version years ago. I bought the PS4 version when I got my PS4 in 2021, my PS4 Pro. Yes, I got one late. And I bought it on PC and I play it on the computer that I'm using to record right now. So yeah,
So
3
the same thing's
times.
going
I'm
to
not
happen with
buying it for
GTA
PS5.
6, which is another reason it's going to be around for a long time. They also had Red Dead 2 come out in the middle of all this, and they had to
Yup.
dedicate some resources over there. However, there's something else that probably most of you have had in the back of your mind while watching this video, wondering when I'm going to mention it. Well, that time is here. At first, when I thought about 15 years of GTA 6 and came to the reality that it was likely going to happen,
This looks so good. Bro, the
became pretty
mall with
worried
the
for the future.
reflections looks
And
so
my reason
good.
for this, I think, will make a lot of you mad, so controversial take here. I've always thought the single player for Grand Theft Auto 5 was great, but to be perfectly honest, I've never really found the online to be anything that
It is.
special. The reason I say this is because it's going to be a long
You're
20
bugging.
years if
It's
GTA
great.
6 Online is just a copy and paste of GTA 5 Online. I've talked about this a couple times in my videos, so I'm not going to dwell on it for too long.
Hello, my name is Dan Selton. My company is Star Pro Greens. We manufacture the best.
It's not to say I hate online, because I don't.
Cool
But
story,
you know how
Dan.
people talk about the 2-week Minecraft phase? That's kind of how I always felt about GTA Online. My friends and I would play for a week or two once a year, but there's just better multiplayer experiences out there. Even when the game first came out, aside from a couple of heists, nothing really stood out to me as that impressive or anywhere near the same quality as the story missions. It's a tired old point nowadays. I mean, I'm sure you guys have had these thoughts, or you've heard countless other people say that GTA Online's repetitive, but at the end of the day, it's hard to argue with statistics. And statistics are pointing towards the fact that because of the huge success of GTA 5 Online, Rockstar's probably going to try to milk GTA 6 Online as much as they can.
Not even probably. They have to. That's what's gonna keep the game's longevity and keep the cash rolling in.
I mean,
They have
it's
to
much
do that.
easier
That's
and
not
cheaper
even a
to add content
choice.
to a pre-existing game than to make an entirely new one. Which again is another reason why
Exactly.
Rockstar doesn't want to constantly release GTA games. Splitting up employees between maintaining the current title's online mode and then having some of them working on an entirely new game, it's going to hurt both games and make people less likely to spend money on GTA. If you know that there's going to be a new game soon, why would you spend money on the old one? But it's not all bad news, and I don't think GTA 6 Online is going to suffer the same fate of being boring and repetitive. Something I found interesting when looking back in time is that the multiplayer for the Xbox 360 and the PS3
Yeah, they're gonna go
versions
all
of
out for
GTA 5
online.
stopped receiving updates in September 2015. This was pretty much 2 years after the game release, due to those older consoles just not having the hardware to keep up with future plans, and realistically also so that people would buy copies on the next gen consoles. But the reason I mention this is
Yeah, they have the Xbox 360 and PS3 have like half a gig of RAM and really ancient hardware. So the fact that those even got GTA 5 in the first place is nothing short of a miracle. We're lucky we got online on that. I'm impressed by the hardware and what they did with
the
it.
Take-Two CEO,
Given how
which is the
old
company
it
that owns
is.
Rockstar, pretty much said that they didn't expect the success of GTA Online.
Now, GTA Online, it became a massive success immediately. Did you expect it to...
No, I don't think any of us did.
But you mix that in with the fact that they are also held back for 2 years due to the old consoles, so GTA Online got off to a really slow start, with Rockstar having to scramble to figure out how to run it properly. Which is why you can see how I'm a little bit more optimistic for GTA 6 Online, even if we're going to be playing it for 20 years. Rockstar knows that it's a huge success now, and they've been planning for it. We now have consoles with over 30 times the amount of RAM.
Yeah, there it is. 512 megabytes of RAM. Same for the PS3, but it's split into two pools for RAM and video memory separately. Look at this, 192 gigaflops. This is literally 32 times the amount of RAM, which is insane. Alright, what else? 192 gigaflops. That's the GPU for the PS3, and then the Xbox 360. Sorry to get so technical, guys. It's 240 gigaflops. So I already knew that the GPU in the Xbox 360 was more powerful than the PS3's, but the CPU in the PS3 could do graphics calculations, so it kind of made up for where the GPU fell short. So the PS3 is actually the more superior console between the 7th gen, but it was really hard to program for, so there's that. Alright, so 12.15, 10.28,
and 30
crazy.
times for it. We now have consoles with over 30 times the amount of RAM and 30 times the amount of GPU.
When you think about that, 192 gigaflops, multiply that by 10, that's 1.9 gigaflops. And then multiply that by, so we did it by 10, which brings it to 1.9. And then if you multiply that by 10 divided by 1 point, call it 2 roughly, multiply by 5. Well, the PlayStation 5's GPU is literally 50 times more powerful than the PS3, which is insane.
You compare them to the consoles that GTA 5 was released on. I mean, they spent $1 billion frickin' dollars developing this game. Even more comparisons, you know, you had 1,000 people working on GTA 5. There's over 4,000 working on GTA 6. They've had 12 years to sit on ideas. They've had 12 years to study what's worked well in other games.
I was reading an article a while back, and I think it was 3,000 people for Red Dead 2. So that's interesting. They literally quadrupled their workforce for 6 compared to 5.
We had Rockstar buying 5 on ideas. They've had 12 years to study what's worked well in other games. We had Rockstar buying 5M, which pretty much confirms roleplay servers.
Yes, I had a friend tell me about this yesterday on Discord. So, you know, online is going to be like limitless. They're going to go so hard with this.
We have crossplay becoming Rockstar buying 5M, which pretty much confirms roleplay servers. We have crossplay becoming the industry standard. So you're finally going to be able to play with all your friends.
We need
and have
crossplay.
A lot more fun.
We need that.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. The innocent.
Past that, we also know that GTA 6 map is going to be huge.
I really need to turn my
which gives
ad
them
block
a
on.
lot of area to work with for GTA Online.
And I'm going to forget about it
And this
again.
should hopefully give us different storylines depending on what part of the maps you're in. Also meaning that we're going to get to interact with a bunch of different characters. So, while it is extremely likely that we're going to be playing GTA 6 for years to come, I think the game's going to have a lot better longevity than GTA 5 did. There's no chance they copy and paste GTA 5 Online into 6 because it would lose them so much money and respect, with people getting bored of it way too quickly. And sure, at some point along the way,
Yeah,
people are going to get
they
bored
have
of
to
GTA
reinvent the wheel.
6. It just happens with every game. But with the sheer amount of content that we can expect from Rockstar, and then you add on top the community being given the ability to make custom game modes and roleplay servers, I think we're looking at something pretty good. Like I said, GTA 5 being around for so long kind of made me dislike the game, but for GTA 6, it'll be different. And if you're still not convinced, let me offer some additional proof that, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised nobody is talking about. There was an interesting Bloomberg article from a couple years ago that I'm going to read a little bit from. Original plans for Grand Theft Auto 6, codenamed Project Americas, were for it to be more vast than any Grand Theft Auto game to date, with early designs calling for the inclusion of territories modeled after large swaths of North and South America. But in its current state, the main map has been cut down to a fictional version of Miami and its surrounding areas. If GTA 6 is going to
I guess they
be
went
around
too
for a
ambitious
long
and they realized,
time,
all
we
right, we
definitely
need to
are going
cut
to
it
need
down a
map
bit.
expansions. But the article kind of makes it seem like the whole Project Americas thing has been scrapped.
Yeah.
But something else that I found actually points to the fact that it's still going to happen.
Mhm.
There was this modding project that brought Liberty City to GTA 5, you know, updated graphics, more integral buildings, stuff like that. But Rockstar took it down immediately. Some believe that this is because of GTA 4 remasters in the works, but it's also possible that Liberty City could be added to GTA 6, and Rockstar didn't want to ruin the excitement. And I think this sounds pretty reasonable based on the fact that they were originally planning something like this. Now, to be fair, this is mostly just my speculation. However, imagine how crazy people would go if Nico returned in GTA 6, or even if we just got a little snippet of Liberty City. All in all, I could be completely wrong. I'm rarely optimistic about many things, especially in the video game industry, but with Rockstar, I just trust them, and historically, that has been the right thing to do. However, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to help me feed my family. Without a doubt,
Subscribe to help me feed my family. But I respect the honesty though. And yeah, that was it, guys. That was my reaction to get ready to play GTA 6 for the next 20 years, and he's not wrong. Hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, all that good stuff. Follow my socials, my TikTok, Instagram, and Discord. They'll be in the description. And with that said, I will see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.